right.
Give you the plague that Hele deserves. And I'm ready for that big white baby.
Oh, hey, we did just go live. I got an email about it.
Do you know this show went live?
I do. I certainly do. In fact, I'm on it.
All right. You gents ready to kick this pig?
Yep.
Yes.
So I can go take a nap. It's over 100 degrees here today too, which is
That sucks.
even better.
It's almost time to turn the heat on over here.
Ugh. Man.
Yeah,
All
having
right.
the window open is not good. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a bit. That's why I got the extra layer on.
Bit chilled. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your full of cold medicine host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
What's up, coldies?
And we have the Hannah.
Hey.
A new episode of Pup RPG Love is out today. If you're listening to the MP3 version, or maybe the video one later. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Not all their biz. Whatever. I appreciate you listening, though. Alright, without further ado, let's get started with Knobs. What have you been playing?
Hey, well, I played some stuff this week. Your normal standard fare. But Monday Night Game Night, it's fun to play games with your friends. It's more fun to argue with your friends about meaningless things.
Oh, of course.
Monday night spilled into this argument about commercials in professional football games.
Oh boy.
That went on for a good solid 3 hours, and they continue to carry on through the week. It was outstanding. I mean, it was just people pulling up stats. Namely, I was one of them. Like, how many commercial breaks are actually in a professional football game.
Do you just have your tablet there and you're pulling up stats?
Oh yeah. It's like it started. I'm quoting articles. Quoting articles. The average time you actually see continuous play in an actual football game is 11 minutes. That's the average.
Wow.
There are between 19 to 22 commercial breaks.
Wow.
Per game. So I was like, and Scott and I were arguing on the point of that pretty much almost 99.9% of the times when there is a change of possession, there is a commercial break.
Yeah.
So the entire Browns game, I'm sitting there like click, click, like just sitting there counting every commercial break, and every time there's a change of possession, check. But oh man, it was a riot. It was completely distracting from the game itself, but it doesn't matter. We still had a good time running around. Luckily, I was sniping a couple of those rounds that gave me some lead time to investigate the argument, but it's an outstanding time. And if anything else, it is comedy gold listening to us argue a lot about things that really don't matter in this world at all. And it was funny, the argument was spurred from someone from Moon who's in Liverpool that had no stake in the argument.
No
at
skin
all.
in the game.
No. To leave Donnie Tomsey and Nintendo, and I think Tom Gamer chimed in a couple times, but it was ruthless in the best way.
Man.
Only good friends can argue that violently, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But in the meantime, I had played a whole bunch more of Destiny, and
Me too.
Nice.
I finished it, and
That happened.
what? Yeah, that okay.
Back into the fight, Guardian.
I
See you for the DLC.
Finish the fight?
At this point,
December.
wah wah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, at this point, You know what? I don't understand the loot system, even though it has the potential to be something very rewarding if you put the time in.
Hmm.
And I don't care enough to be in that world to continuously play this game.
Yeah.
There is nothing outside of one moment during the story missions. One of my favorite, probably my most favorite moment in this game is when you're talking to that chick and that weird emo dude in the void or the reef,
Oh, the queen.
whatever it's called. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Queen Paleskin or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Where you literally do the drop the mic with that giant alien head.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite thing in this game by far.
I thought you were going to say your favorite was the Sword of Crota mission, that third person.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I had fun
I
with
mean,
that.
I wish there was maybe one or two different ones of those. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's a kill streak reward where all of a sudden you just get the
I have a sword now.
for you have a sword for next 26 seconds. I don't know
Yeah.
why 26, but make it weird.
Why not? Balancing.
Like give yourself a reward.
Yeah.
But it just felt like go to the area, clean it out, rinse and repeat. Go to the area, clean it out, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you came across something fun to fight, like the giant octo walker thing.
Yeah.
I like shooting that thing, especially when you have a group of guys yelling like, "Hey, it's down! It's shoot the head! Shoot the head!"
Yeah.
Moments, which that's the stuff I really enjoyed. But when you like that drop the mic moment was scripted so perfectly.
Yeah.
Where that thing just, you're back with your tail between your legs. The thing materializes. You don't say a word. You turn your back and walk away as it crashes to the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is badass. Pretty much the only thing in that game that I felt that was really that cool.
I've been playing a lot of the multiplayer, like almost exclusively. I'm just having a bunch of fun playing that and raising my Crucible rank to get better gear and stuff like that. I feel like the real counteraction to the loot system, if you don't want to do the randomness, is just start working towards whichever faction you want to do. I know some people would say like, oh, work towards New Monarchy or work towards Future War Cult. I think the only ones you want to focus on are Vanguard, if you want like the PvE, or Crucible if you do PvP.
Well, I mean, I hopped into that for 2 rounds and did nothing but get completely rolled.
Yep.
Like, I wasn't playing the same game they were.
Yeah.
It was that frustrating.
Yeah.
And not that I'm a total noob at shooters. I mean, I feel like I should be able to hold my own at least moderately, but when every bullet I hit sounds like it should squeak when it hits them, I don't feel like that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I played a bunch more with Moon. We're just kind of doing like the raids and the stuff in the world, and
Yeah.
it turns to the part where like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Like we started doing bounties, and I don't really have much there that's gonna hold my interest for any length of time.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've been trying to think about it this week. I don't really know why I've really been so drawn to continuing to play it so much. I mean, I
know.
What's that?
It starts with an L and ends with an OOT.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't even gotten that much this week. I mean, I like playing I think I like having the miniature challenges. I like having, I'm going to pick up, when I start playing each day, I'm going to pick up a bunch of multiplayer bounties. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to work on my Crucible rep. I'm doing all of these little miniature objectives over time. I hit Crucible rank 2, so I could go and spend all my Crucible marks and buy a bunch of purple gear for my Warlock. And that felt pretty good. I mean, I felt like I had made a lot of progress. I got an exotic bounty, so I'm working on that, trying to get an exotic weapon out of it. So there's all these little tiny missions that I'm doing over time that I think is keeping me pulled in.
I think if it let me know I was working towards something in that direction, maybe it might hold my interest. But right now, I mean, I just feel like it isn't conveying what it wants me to do very well, other than go here, shoot these dudes.
Well, I feel like for Crucible and Vanguard rep, I feel like that's communicated very poorly in the game. If you go to those vendors, it's just like, oh, you don't have any rep with these guys, and I don't know, you got like 2 marks. See you later. Mm-hmm. And there's that little part at the bottom that says reputation details. And if you hover over that, it tells you how to get marks and rep, and like what the two look like. But it needs to be a lot more visible about, hey, do bounties, do patrol missions, that gets you Vanguard rep and gets you Vanguard marks, and do like strikes and raids. All that works towards this same reputation. And then that'll get you better gear.
Or throw up some pop-ups at some point, like throw it in my face. Because apparently, I am my personal, like, subtlety doesn't go over very well.
Well, you know,
like, if it's subtext, yeah, I'm probably gonna miss it.
I feel like Destiny really, you know, there's the Hannah will know a lot about this, but there's this movement in, you know, creating websites and creating online experiences that are very much the upper right-hand corner of each web page has a giant question mark on it. Click there to either get help or get context on the page. I really feel like Destiny could have taken a lot of cues from that, just to say, like, okay, I'm talking to this vendor, what do I gotta do? And there's, you know, right now it's this white text on a gray background that says reputation details. It needs to be this question mark where it's like, what do I do to get this sick looking loot?
Yeah,
right.
Like a red question mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's, or at least make your text prevalent that you can read it, because, like, I'm sitting probably 20 feet away from my TV.
Yeah.
Like, and trying to read white on a gray background is like, all right, do I really want to get up and read what that tells me to do?
I had a major problem with that with one of the games that I've been playing this week, and it makes me feel like I'm 80, where it's like, huh, who's saying the what now? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know I don't have the greatest eyes in the world, but jeez.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat that you are with Destiny, whereas there seems to be a lot of stuff to do, and maybe if you're not keeping up on reading it, which I don't think should be a requirement for a game, that it seems like there's a lot to do that you don't know where to get started on, and you're not getting that much loot that's really that great, and, you know, I feel like Destiny really could gain a lot from being a lot more transparent and assuming a lot less that you've played WoW. Because I feel like at some point with Crucible and Vanguard, it really does assume you've played WoW, because a lot of those systems are very similar. Where it's like, oh, you want to get rep with this faction? Like, let's say Future War Cult. Hit 20, buy this little armband if you're a warlock, you know, buy your class item, and then all your rep generates towards that class, towards that thing now. And it's like, great, that's an MMO thing. A lot of people playing these games have been playing Halo.
Yeah, that sounds completely foreign to me.
Yeah, for me, after playing WoW, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to do that.
Yeah, it sounds completely reasonable to me. Like, oh yeah, you just grind rep, right?
Yeah, but unfortunately, in WoW, it's very clear about, okay, there's this reputation and these rewards, and you have to do these things to get those other things, but those things are super cool looking. Yeah. So it's okay doing these things. And in Destiny, it's like, yeah, there's like this guy over here, and he's got some purple stuff. Do you want it? What? See you later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I am with Destiny, and if someone wants to play, or I mean, I'm not going to say, well, yeah, no, that game sucks, but I mean, that's.
You're not going to be playing single player a lot.
It's yeah. I mean, it's not going to be my go-to. Well, I got a couple hours to play. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
Which kind of happened over the weekend, where I decided to rewatch Hellsing. Since I found out the new Hellsing, the last 3 or 4 chapters are coming out on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
On the 30th.
Hey, just in time for Halloween.
Which was a perfect bonus, so I was excited. I got to rewatch everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, so I picked up Middle Earth, Shadows of Mordor.
Oh, I thought I was going to be the only one that was playing it this week.
We all played it. Yes. I'm so happy.
Oh, man.
I didn't, buy it. I, played it at a buddy's house, but I played a bunch of it.
I had a really... So I want to actually talk about... I had a really hard time finding this.
So, yeah, I also want to talk about this, because...
I didn't find it till Thursday.
So I wasn't sure about this game, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll rent it or something, you know? Maybe I'll hit a Redbox, and then I go look at Redbox, and they're like, yeah, we don't have PS4 games in your area. And I'm like, oh, all right, maybe there's a demo on Steam I can try. No. Maybe there's a demo on PS... Nothing. It's either buy it or don't.
Yeah.
And I was like,
consumerism.
Yeah.
So I actually, on Thursday, nobody would shut up about it at work. It has all these amazing reviews. The Giant Bomb Quick Look was really great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's just go buy this. I'm having a bad week. I'm just going to go treat myself to a game. So I go to Best Buy, because Amazon wasn't going to ship it until next week. And I'm like, well, I need instant gratification today.
That is unacceptable.
That is not today.
Yeah,
so.
that will not do. So I go to Best Buy, and it looks like a swarm of locusts has cleaned out their video game section.
Yeah.
They had one copy of Shadow of Mordor for the Xbox One, and one copy of the Lego Movie game for PS4, and that was about it. I really wish I was exaggerating. So, across the parking lot is a GameStop, and I'm just like, okay, fine. You know what? Fine. I've got a while to play this tonight.
Win.
I will do this. I had the best experience at GameStop ever.
Really?
I walked in, and there was a couple people there pre-ordering Super Smash Brothers for 3DS, which came out on Friday. And this dude was just kind of going through these people's, selling them the pre-order and moving them along. So I pick up Shadow of Mordor for PS4, and I pick up a copy of Dragon Age Origins, the one with all the DLC for 360.
Dark Arisen.
Yeah. So since the new game's coming out, I want to play back through the other ones to get. I never played the DLC for the first one, so I want to get a good character to carry into the third one.
Yeah.
So I bring both of those up, and I know I'm in trouble because I'm buying a 360 used game, and I'm buying a new PS4 game.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Hey man, how are you?" I was like, "Oh, good. How are you?" He goes, just alone by myself here. Everybody called out, but it's been quiet. It's been nice." It's like, all right, cool. I want to pick up these two games. He goes, "Oh, okay, cool." Starts ringing them up, and he hasn't asked me if I want to buy a strategy guide yet. And sort of like, maybe that's Shadow of Mordor. I figured they'd be like, well, we got this. You want to buy this new?
Welcome to add to your Brady collection.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Don't you have room on your bookshelf that you still have for some reason?
Yeah. And he brings both of those up, and he goes, "Oh, Shadow of Mordor. Man, I really want to play that, but don't really have the cash right now. So waiting for someone to bring it back used so I can pick it up." And I was like, "Yeah, man, cool." And he goes over to pick it up, and he goes, "Oh, did you pre-order it?" And I was like, "Nah." And he goes, "Okay, cool." Picks it up, throws it on the pile of games, and he says, "Oh, do you have a power-up card?" I said, "Yeah, I don't have it with me though." Puts in my phone number. And he goes, "Oh, it's expired, but you're still gaining points, so that's cool. All right, it's $90." And I was just like, "What?"
You see, I'd have bought if that dude said that to me. I'd have paid it forward and bought him a copy.
He didn't. He didn't ask. I probably would have extended my power-up card had he asked, but because he was cool. Like he didn't ask like, "Oh, do you want to pre-order the new Batman game?" He didn't sell any of that stuff. And it was
would save like $3 on your used copy of Dragon Age.
And I did. I think I did. Maybe I don't know. It's Dragon Age. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I gotta give that dude a lot of credit. That was probably the first good GameStop experience I've had since it was EB Games.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, because usually you go in, especially if you're dumb enough to buy a brand new copy. Yeah. Here's the strategy guide and the protection plan and your power-up card. Would you like Game Informer? Would you? And there's 20 things. And this dude was just working. He just wanted to give me a game for my money. I thought that was cool.
That's awesome.
But Shadow of Mordor, sleeper hit of 2014. This game is amazing. Let's talk about it.
It really is.
I tell you what, a lot of stuff goes down on that little bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So how long have you guys played this? When I brought it home, I hit home at about 5 o'clock, and I popped it in just like go through the intro. Then 4.5 hours later, I looked up and I was like, "What time is? Oh goodness, I'm hungry."
Yeah, I'm about 4 hours deep.
Yeah.
If the Browns game hadn't started, I'd probably be in the same boat.
I'm about 10 hours deep now.
Nice.
I'm about maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's really great, guys.
Have you died by an assassin yet?
No, I died by a
Assassin?
regular guy.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what sold me on why I'm itching to get back and play this game. So I get in that world opens up after you hit the ground and the hammer, and I guess you added more land.
Yeah.
On the Elven Anvil or whatever it is.
The Forge Tower. Yeah.
Thank you.
I only
Gotcha.
know that word because
Gotcha.
it's on the map.
Anyway, so I'm going around and I'm like, oh cool, I got a bow and arrow. So I just start picking dudes off left and right.
Yeah.
And I run out of
Elf shot.
elf shot.
Yep.
I remember it because it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I hop down, I go down there and I see a couple like regular humans in trouble, and I'm just poking around, not really doing anything. I found some dude that I had to go hunt down.
Yep.
Some slaver.
Yeah.
So then I see this one orc that's a little different color than everything else, chasing like this one dude like all the way across the map. I'm like, I gotta see what's going on with this. So I get in a fight with him, and we're trading blows back and forth, and I get like the slow-mo counter, and I missed it, and he caved my skull in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's a good stopping point. But at that point when you stop, because apparently he was one of the generals or elites that are running around the world.
Yeah.
And since he killed me, the dude levels up and kills, and it goes to this black screen where it has all these shadowy figure guys. Like the slaver guy is one of them, and then he materializes one of them because I hadn't discovered his name yet. So he goes, kills 3 of them around him, moves up 3 ranks in this line, and then all of a sudden 3 more dudes spawn up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a leveling system for the enemies.
Yeah,
that
so
if they-
that's the coolest part about this game, and I feel like, so they call it the Nemesis system, and it's, people kept trying to explain it at the beginning, and I had such a hard time explaining it until you play it. So for anybody that hasn't played it, this is the reason why you need to get this game, and this is the thing that all open world games need to do now. So basically what happens is everything in the world continues to happen even when you're not doing anything. So when you go in the menu and you go into the Nemesis system, I think they call it Sauron's Army.
Yeah.
Is that option in the start menu. Basically, as you kill generals and you kill captains, and they kill you, their power increases or decreases, and they're always fighting with each other to get up to the war chief level. As an example, in my game, I've been killing this dude, something tree cleaver.
Okay.
My very first battle with him, he started running away, and I shot him through the back of the head with an arrow and killed him.
Nice.
And probably like 20 minutes later, I run into him again, and he has this giant, half of his face is missing, and is replaced by this giant metal thing with a spike on it. And he's pissed. So I keep killing him time and time again. I've killed him about 7 or 8 times now.
Wow.
And every time I run into him, because they keep bringing him back to life, he's brown now. He started green because I killed him by burning him once. He's like missing one of his arms because I chopped one of them off once.
Yeah, I
like,
had that.
He's so furious every time that I meet him that he's getting scarier and scarier, and he's getting stronger and stronger. And
the best part is that works in both ways, because I got killed by the same guy
yeah,
about 10 times.
Yeah.
I'd be roaming around and I'd be fighting one captain, and it would always be the same guy. It was like, I think it was like Skak the Chain Driver or something. And he's got this weird like face cage on.
Yeah.
And he'd roll up while I'm fighting another captain and like 4 other dudes. Him and his whole like cadre of orcs would come up and just waste me. And it would always be him that killed me.
yeah.
Almost every
nobody
time.
else.
And I was just furious. I'm like ready to snap my controller in half. That's how angry I am. I can't even make whole words. And just punching the desk. And I finally got to a point. I found him. I worked my way through where he was like supposed to be. I killed everybody in the area and finally took him down. And it was the most satisfying thing I've done in a video game in years.
Oh yeah.
It is so cool, like watching, like, even though I've had only this one little snippet that I've seen of this, is watching the chessboard play out in the background after you have passed.
Yes.
And seeing the ramifications of you not taking care of him immediately.
Well, I actually had two other things that are crazy that happens. One is I ran away from two generals because there was no way I was going to be able to fight both of them in a stronghold when the alarms were up.
Yeah.
So I ran away. Next time I ran into either one of them, they made fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you're going to run away again? Well, that's fine. I'll just chase you down and kill you." The craziest thing happened, though. I was fighting someone, I don't know who, and I got sniped by an archer. And it zooms all the way into him, and it just says on the bottom of the screen, "promoted," and it automatically opens the screen. He gets promoted to a captain and starts generating his own power at that point. And then it marks him as my nemesis at the moment, so I get more stuff if I go hunt him down and kill him because he killed me, and he started moving up towards the ranks.
Yeah, that was the other thing that happened when I killed that Skak the chain driver. I got an epic rune off of him.
Nice.
Yeah.
This game is
too cool.
Outstanding. And
it really is.
We actually haven't talked about the gameplay yet. It's basically you take an open world game with the traversal of Assassin's Creed, but better.
Yes.
And the Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City,
combat
sorry,
system.
like the combat combo system, but a little bit better. It's amazing.
Yeah,
this game
really
shouldn't
is.
be good.
It really shouldn't. It makes no sense.
Well, and this is the way I've always felt that this is how you do licensed games.
Yeah.
Is you put a parallel story in there.
Yep.
You don't have to tell what you just watched and read in a book.
Yeah.
You have some other weird outlying story that you can expand on. Which is why the Dark Forces games were so cool because they had nothing to do with Star Wars.
Well, and I mean the Middle Earth, world is such a great place to put all this stuff because there's so much stuff that isn't even close to being touched on in the 4 books, leaving the Silmarillion out, or the movies. There's so much stuff there that a game like this is perfect because it can just touch on everything that isn't in there, and it totally. Apparently, that Wraith guy is really important in the Silmarillion. I don't know. I won't read that.
You will find out why in the game. How far have you gotten in the story?
I just did my second mission with the Golem.
Okay, yeah. You will very shortly, at the end of that quest line, you will find out who he is and why he's important.
Cool.
And all right, and just the epic killing the family scene, might be one of the most terrifying ones I've ever witnessed.
That was very well directed.
It really was.
Well voice acted. That was great.
It just wasn't that. It was the body language that they had on the character that it wasn't. This,
that was frightening.
Where he just kind of just grazed the throat, wasn't a chop. It wasn't anything violent.
Yeah, it was just this pass.
And he just
done it. Walked by and just done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell just because he can do it that way, he's done it so many other times.
Yeah. That was menacing. I mean, that whole intro was so it was really. There's so much done right in this game. It's astounding because this game should suck. This game. This game can't be this good. That's what's so crazy about it is. A non-movie licensed Middle-earth game should be the worst game this year. But this intro was so interesting because it kept taking, modern day, him dying. This is, the first 5 minutes, so it's no spoilers for anybody.
Yeah.
Him dying and being resurrected, but a little bit further back with him raising his son. And it's this very, fluid, moving between 3 or 4 time frames all at the same time without spending an hour talking about all of this stuff. And the tutorials were great. Learning how to sneak in this game, you sneak up on your wife to give her a kiss.
Yep. That's adorable.
And it teaches you how to do the stealth stuff. And I thought that was really, really great because it's just this natural thing. And in 15 minutes, you're in the game and you're playing. And you're just in this already giant open world.
And I would actually, that is great and also sort of detrimental to a first-time player in this game because I really struggled because I just wanted to get into the game and try it out because I sort of had a limited amount of time with it.
Oh, yeah.
But I get in there and I'm like, okay, I'm getting just destroyed by everything. And I look at the abilities menu and stuff, and there's a bunch of stuff that's locked out by what your power level is, which is you gain power by killing other captains and stuff. And there's also a bunch of stuff that's just locked out because you didn't do that story mission yet.
Yeah, you haven't gotten far enough yet. Yeah,
And I just didn't feel like I had enough. There wasn't enough impetus for me to go do the story missions to unlock this stuff.
yeah,
Until I read the Rock Paper Shotgun, what I think so far of this game, and they were like, just do the first 6 missions, and just do them, get them out of the way, and then you will be much better equipped to actually handle everything that's out in the open world.
Oh, nice. I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Because I mean, that was the thing that really took me off guard was, all right. So I hit the elephant anvil, and then it expands the world, and it's like, here, go. I'm like, nah. All right. So I get in the fight, and then it's like it prompts me to interrogate this guy. So I interrogate this guy, and then all of a sudden it gives me this captain to go hunt down. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I run on this little adventure where I end up getting killed. And I'm like, the game starts in 2 minutes. I can't. All right.
Yeah.
Set this down. I'll be back to visit you in 4 or 5 hours.
Well, and it's even little stuff in this game too. The stuff that that keeps getting me distracted from playing the main story is you'll be running through an area and it's like, oh, there's like 5 or so orcs here with some slaves. I'll kill all these guys. I feel like playing the combo game a little bit. And then out of nowhere, bam, this captain comes. And it's such a cool direction. It's almost like this Guy Ritchie thing where he goes, hey! And then, or like, hey, Ranger, and it zooms on his face, shows his name, and you are right in it. And some of my favorite stuff is when your back is against a wall or you're down but not out and you're trying to do your thing, all the other orcs around chanting his name is so cool. Where it's like, they keep chanting his name, and it's like, oh god, no, oh, he killed me, crap.
Yeah. Well, and when you actually land those, there's an ability you get in the second
just
tier.
Unlocked that.
Where you can get an instant kill off of that, and it's so satisfying when you do it.
Yeah, there's so much in the game that like. The map keeps saying, like, well, talk to Ratbag and do his stuff. Talk to Gollum, do his stuff. And I was like, I don't want to. I want to fight more captains. Come on.
Yeah.
And then I got into a revenge mission, actually, last night.
Nice.
Where someone on my friends list had gotten killed by a captain. And on the map, it was like, hey, you need to revenge. It was UCA Mac. Revenge UCA Mac. This dude killed him. And when I killed him, I got a whole bunch of extra stuff.
That's cool.
Like, this is super cool, man.
Like that's the thing that's like, I mean, even just this little bit of time playing with this, there's so much going on, and I just thought this was gonna. Oh, great! I'm gonna play as Aragon with the undead army.
Yeah, that was like my third-person like hack and slash, chapter 1, chapter 2.
Yeah,
that was my view of the game, and then I watched a couple more trailers. And I was like, holy crap! This actually looks looks mustard. Like this looks like it could be good.
Yeah. I had no interest in this game whatsoever until like the last couple of weeks of Giant Bombcast has been nothing but them talking about how great this game is.
And every review that has come out has been like 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, A+. Like everybody is like, look, you need to go find this game because it's the next step for open world games, and it's a really good Lord of the Rings game.
Which is so just those phrases like in 2014, you didn't expect to hear any of that.
For me, I think the two things that I'm taking away from this is one, if you're looking to buy the game, it's really hard to find. I don't think they thought it would sell. Yeah. Number two, if this game continues to be at least this good, if not better, is guaranteed, top couple of spots on my top 10 list this year.
I think it's already jumped to like top 3 for me.
Yeah, like 10 hours in, as long as it doesn't crap the bed, it's up there in the top.
Yeah,
hands down.
Yeah, I am just overly excited to get back in and really play this game because it's almost what I've been kind of waiting for something to really show me like, okay, we're here. This is new. This is where it's at.
Well, and this really feels next gen because the previous gen versions of this game, I've heard, I don't know if this was confirmed or not, will not have the Nemesis system.
So at that point, it's not a. I mean, that's a fine game, but like
it's Batman Middle Earth.
It's missing the soul of it. And the thing that I think is really crazy is I'm super happy that both of you are playing it, because I feel like it's a great water cooler game, and we haven't had one for a while. We're just like, oh man, I gotta tell you what happened last night in Shadow. I was fighting this dude, and there's 2 other dudes, and I killed all this stuff, and it's just like everybody, even if you're fighting the same bosses, even if you're fighting the same enemies, you have these super cool stories of your own. And that to me makes it feel like it's something else.
Yeah, it's sort of taking that roguelike recipe of like, oh, the levels are different, but they're putting it in the actual like gameplay rather than just the world.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because this could have been a story game of here's 18 bosses, and then there's a boss at the end, kill all 18, and then you'll be good enough to fight the other one. But the fact that these Uruks are fighting between each other to get to the top level, and then there's always dudes filling the bottom ranks from just random Uruks, that to me is it seems like if you want to keep playing this open world for a really long time, you probably could. And look at the achievements too, is have someone kill you, raise them to the highest rank of the warlord, and then kill them. There's crazy stuff like that where it's sort of like, all right, I think I kind of want to try that. That sounds a little fun.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I feel like you can also game this a little bit. After I killed the dude who killed me like a bunch of times and got an epic rune, I'm like, I could make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, so good.
You can infinity blade it.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. Like, I am just really on such an impulse buy because I was at that point where I was like, there's nothing here. And I was in that mood to spend some money anyway.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, all right, let me see if this is here. And I go do the Best Buy thing, or I'm going down the aisles. I'm like, how is this not even a flyer where this game is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up to the register and I'm looking at it, and it's like the writing on the spine is so dark it almost looks all black.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? Is that it? I was like, okay. So I get the dude. I'm like, hey, I want Shadows of Mordor, and they're like, okay, where is it? To your right. To your right. To your right. Dude,
it's under your hand.
Middle row. It's right in front of you. Oh, that's really hard to see. I was like,
yeah.
It took like a second.
I feel you.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play more.
Yeah. Sleeper surprise of the year.
Yep.
So far, it's November, and I don't think I've played that many games.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
It's October.
Well, October.
I was gonna say, is it November? You scared me for a minute.
This is when the games come out, so I
lost. Oh, go ahead.
I think I have like 1 or 2 games coming out every week for like the next month.
I mean, I lost all of September. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, me too.
That's how I felt about August.
All right, anything else you played, Knobs?
No, that's it.
All right, Hannah, what about you?
Well, other than Middle Earth, which I played, like I said, a buddy of mine lent me a bit, and I played a bit of it before, giving it back because, I'm not a terrible person. Played a little bit more Metal Gear Solid, but really I'm just spinning my wheels on that at this point. I'm still stuck at the Hind D fight on hard. I'll get that thing down to like a little bit less than half of his health, and I got to learn the pattern on that fight.
That's a tough fight no matter what.
Because it's all based on like directional audio, which is not great with the Vita. You can't really tell which way it's coming from at all. So I think I'm just gonna watch a couple YouTube videos, try and memorize that pattern, and just blow past it.
Yeah.
Played a little bit more Diablo 3, and I'm just slowly crawling my way towards Act 5. I still haven't gotten there yet. I'm in Act 4 currently. I closed the 2 Hell Rifts, and that's pretty much it so far. I forgot how tedious the end of that game felt.
Yeah, and Chapter 4 is so short. It's really weird. It's short, but it's kind of not that great.
Yeah, it's short.
It's like a boss rush.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
You just sort of get there and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh, Diablo. All right. Okay.
Yeah, all right. And then what's Act 5? Okay, we'll get to Act 5 eventually.
Yeah, Act 5 is really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot more varied. It's a lot longer. The stuff you're doing is a lot more interesting than go to this place, find this dungeon, clear out the dungeon. It's like it's a lot more of
time to make the donuts.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a little bit more puzzliness to it. The dungeons are a little bit more twisty.
That's good.
Yeah,
glad to hear that. And I can't wait to jump into adventure mode once I've gotten beyond that.
It's so good.
That's what I keep hearing, man. I also started playing this month's TVGP Game Club game. We settled on The Darkness 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, we didn't put. So Scott and I decided against putting it up for a vote because we were already like 2 days from October, and we would really like to get this sort of the cycle of this one done before the end of October.
Yeah.
So we decided we had a list of suggestions, and we sort of I guess I sort of chose this one. Scott emailed me and was like, "So what game is it going to be?" And I'm like, Darkness 2. I sort of made that decision based on the fact that it really fits a traditional game club game a lot better than a lot of the other ones, except for maybe Fatal Frame. But even if you're a horror junkie, like you've probably played Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a game that came out and it got some buzz, but it wasn't big.
That game was cool.
I think a lot of the buzz was like, "Oh, they're making another one." Okay.
Yeah.
It's like pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a big fan of the first one. It's probably one of my favorite games on the 360. And I'm thinking about doing it because the Darkness 2 is, from what I've heard, relatively short. It's not really a long haul game. I might actually play the first one in tandem, depending on how much time I have left after I finish the Darkness 2. Man, is that game! I love the opening of that game. Where you literally, the game opens up and it's literally a crazy dude yelling the story of the first one at you to give you a recap, which is a great way to start a game. Just crazy dude, all black. All right, here you are in the game, and they drop you in, and you are Jackie from the first game, but years later, you've sort of become respected within the mob, and they are walking you into this restaurant. And you sit down at a table, and there are two girls there, and one of them just gets shot in the head, falls on the table.
They're twins.
They are twins. I forgot. They are twins. And a car comes crashing through the window behind them, and you have to take out these dudes as you're being dragged out of the building.
Wow.
With just everything's all messed up, and it's It's
well,
so
not only is
good.
your almost completely disheveled leg, it's just meat and gristle at that point, being drug around this. It is an awesome opening scene.
It really is.
And hearing Mike Patton creep his way into you, it's just it's terrifying.
I love that they don't have to do anything to his voice. They barely have to.
He's just creepy.
He is. Have you seen him? Come on. So I'm really excited to get together with members of the community and talk about how awesome that game is.
I have to recommend you have to find every collectible and then talk to Johnny about everything you find.
That's the crazy dude at the beginning, right?
Yeah, the dude is a little tweaky. Yeah, the way he explains the relics you come across is amazing.
Yeah. I will have to check that out. So yeah, I played maybe the first hour of that or so, and just chucking pipes into dudes and using the car doors as shields, and it all started to come back to me.
And quad wielding is surprisingly intuitive.
It really is. It's really surprising how simple it is. And honestly, if you're gonna play, I'm playing this on PC. I'm still using a controller because trying to manage all of that stuff on a keyboard and mouse, it's not as fluid. You can do a lot more with the separate joysticks because a lot of it's based on you have to hold this button and move your mouse this way, and maybe you didn't move it directly at the y-axis or directly at the x-axis. So I definitely, if you're playing PC, I recommend a 360 controller for this one. It may seem weird for a first-person shooter, but it's almost necessary.
Yeah,
I've had more than my fair share of easy text moments with holding the right bumper and flicking the stick every which direction. I was like, well, everything's a puddle of goo. It's not good enough, and I'm still hitting stuff.
Well, it's when you have to do you have to do a vertical one is where it gets difficult for me with the mouse. Because you have to do that a lot because it's like how you pop open doors and stuff. So it's just a matter of convenience, and I want to get this game finished because I want to play the first one again. And last but not least, I played a bunch more Persona 4 Golden.
Yes.
I finally got to sort of the so I got past the second dungeon, which was interesting to say the least.
Was that
Kanji.
Kanji's dungeon? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bathhouse.
Yeah, the bad bathhouse.
Yeah, yeah. I love how they're all like trashy, like low network like reality TV shows,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah, the Midnight Channel has interesting programming.
Yes, it does. I sort of expected him to become a party member, but I'm sort of now like, oh, how am I going to manage all this? And I remember I'm on like the easiest difficulty, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part about Persona is, especially Persona 4, is there's so many party members, and all of them are so different that you kind of want to use all of them, but they don't level up in the background. So at some point, like, you have your party, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And you can make it through the whole game, because your main character can, have all the personas, so...
Yes, which that's
Charlie
probably my
Tanoku.
favorite thing. I spend so much time, like, fusing personas.
Yes.
It's not even funny. I'm just sitting in the Velvet Room just like, okay, I want that one. And what happens if I do that one?
Yeah, do I get Agadine? I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get Jack Frost out of this one. Yeah, he's cool.
You
I
always
love
want Jack Frost, so you can get Black Frost later.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice, I'll have to get him.
He's
and
a
just
4-person combine, I think.
Oh, I don't even think I've gotten to that point
Oh,
yet.
yeah, wait until you get 7-person combines, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That explains why I
Oh.
get so many personas.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
The last time I was doing battles, I think I went on a streak where I got like 6 or 7 sweeps of cards at the end of it, just because it kept happening.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, I'm only dealing you 4 cards, and you got 3 picks, and you got 1 more.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I'm getting all these cards, and you get all this bonus extra stuff. And I had like way too many personas in my inventory.
Just throwing them out.
Yeah, I think I can carry like 12 at this point. So anything I already had, I would just throw out. But then it was like, oh, I don't have that one yet, but I can't keep because I don't have any of the other one. Oh no!
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Persona.
That's such a good game. I'm so glad I played. Like I've had it sitting on my Vita for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm finally just gonna let's open it up. Let's play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of brought me back around on like Japanese games almost entirely. I'm kind of like, all right, there's a couple other games I'm looking forward to now.
Yeah. Persona 4 will do
Persona,
that.
yeah, and then Persona 5's coming out for PS4 now, so that makes me happy.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be so good. But I got to the big reveal in the Persona 4 story where they figure out the link between all the victims.
Yes.
Yeah, which I was
Sorry.
like,
I was just about to spoil something for you, but
Yeah.
I decided to say, oh, yes.
yes. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like now, like things are turning, and I'm like, I wonder if it's no, is it? Maybe it could be.
That's the best part about Persona 4 is every time they drop a bomb like that, like because the mystery is really good, you're always sort of like, well, could it? I don't know. Maybe it's that. Could it? I don't know, man. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm like almost waiting for it to like pull a Knights of the Old Republic and be like, it was you all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I certainly won't spoil anything, but I will let you know. Hopefully, you'll continue to play it. I will let you know when you're at the point. So we actually talked about this on Pup this month. There is a major decision near the halfway point of the game that does not seem like a decision, and if you make the wrong choice, you miss out on the back half of that game.
Really?
So I will let you know when you are approaching that point. Because something happens, and then you have a conversation with a group of people that if you continue to be hot-headed about it, the game basically just ends.
Wow. Okay. I will keep an eye out for that then.
But I don't want to spoil it yet because it goes into by the time you're there, looking up the solution won't really be a spoiler, but now it will spoil about everything in the game.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I think I remember you mentioning that when you were playing it too.
Yep. There's 2 decisions. That's the first one. The second one is a lot easier to figure out.
It's actually a decision.
By the point, well, it's very clear that it's a decision, but you only get, I think, like 2 chances to basically make this choice, and by that point, if you're paying attention to the story, you pretty much know what you're supposed to choose.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
We were talking about Destiny and Shadow Mordor. The only thing I've been playing this week otherwise is Forza Horizon 2.
Nice.
How is that?
Oh man, it's so good. So I loved the first Forza Horizon. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, because I feel like it's not that big compared to Forza. Basically, they take the Forza driving model and they put it in a game that isn't in love with the cars. Like it likes the cars, but it's not this. It's not like this car porn like Forza can tend to be, where it's very much like, oh, this engine. It's got Jeremy Clarkson talking about how cool the engine is and what's weird about this car. It's it takes Forza Horizon 1 took the Forza Festival, which is this made up, party festival where you're racing around. Colorado was the last time, I think it was.
Yes.
This time it's in southern Europe. It's the same thing.
A real party now.
Yeah. It's the same thing where the Forza the Horizon Festival moved over there. It's the same thing. It's a giant open world. You have your pick of cars. There are all these races. There's all this stuff you can do in the world. But what they did on top of it was they added the Drivatar system, which if anybody remembers it, I hated it in Forza 5. They actually seem to have implemented it correctly this time.
That's good.
So it seems like it's a lot less like, hey, I'm playing with online people offline, and it seems more like it takes the offline AI and kind of shapes it a little bit based on your friends, how they behave when they're playing Forza Horizon. So it seems a little bit better. The thing I like about Forza Horizon is just fun. It takes the Forza driving model, which is incredibly solid. It's not arcadey. It's not super simmy. It's that kind of sweet spot in the middle. And it basically slapped on the kudos system on top of it this time, which is incredibly great. They did a lot of that in the first Forza Horizon, but I feel like it really came into its own this time. And then they just filled this world full of stuff. And like there's now bucket list stuff where you find a car in the world and they have you do something in that car. And then if you complete that mission, you get that car. That's above and beyond barn finds, which is just, hey, there's a barn in this area. Go find it, open it up, and this really old restored car is now yours to keep.
I didn't know the Amish restored cars.
Yeah, no, it's a pastime.
Hey, have you ever watched Sex Drive? Come on. Yeah,
there you go. The thing I like about Forza Horizon is it's just fun. Like, it's not a game that takes itself seriously. You're working your way through the ranks in this festival. There's so much content in it now. It seems like they doubled the content in the previous one, which is great.
Yeah.
It seems like they made so there's really 3 or 4 types of different races. Your regular lap ones, your point-to-point races, your one-on-one races. But then they have these special event races that, to be fair, were really dumb in the first ones because you were racing against stuff that didn't really make sense. This one, the first one you race against, 3 jets. And
that doesn't sound like anything not awesome there.
It's totally awesome. In comparison, in the first one, you raced against a hot air balloon. You raced against like a prop plane, and it's sort of like
not really a race.
No, it really wasn't. It was pretty easy. But this one, you're racing against jets, and I'm sure there's going to be even cooler stuff in the future. It seems like they took Forza Horizon, which what I thought was outstanding, and I think is one of the best racing games on 360. Yes. And they took it and they just kind of turned up all the dials and put more stuff in it, and then addressed kind of some of the complaints in the game, like so it has smart glass support for your map and for your GPS, but it also has voice support for your GPS. So you can say the GPS's name is Anna, which I think stands for something, and it's annoying.
It's an anagram.
But basically, you can say Anna, and it'll come up with 4 or 5 options, like what should I do next, or take me to the next event, or something like that. And it's really great because you can say, Anna, take me to the next event, and your GPS just points you to where you should go next.
That's cool.
Anna, what should I do next? And it's like, oh, there's a barn find right next to you. Do you want to do that? You can say yes or no. So without going into the menu and looking through all this stuff, which isn't cumbersome, but it's just this kind of thing that you can do it at 120 miles an hour.
Nice.
So I think it's really great. I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth more into it. It's kind of one of those games you can pick up and play for about an hour, get a couple races done, and then just kind of move on. And then Shadow of Mordor came out, so I stopped playing that.
That'll happen,
yeah.
apparently.
But that's all I've been playing, so let's take a break.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I was a coin flip between those two.
I would have picked Shadow of Mordor, because you can pick up Forza Horizon at any point, and, like, it's a racing game, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, I kept hearing about Shadow of Mordor, and I really wanted to play it, so I was just like, hey, can I see that for, like, an afternoon? I know you're going to be out of town, so can I just, like,
grab that real quick?
I just want to play for the podcast. And then
I just had that itch that this might be great. It might be great.
Well, how many people wouldn't stop talking about it, like... And the more I started hearing about the Nemesis system and the more it actually works, I'm just like, man, I think I gotta get this.
Yeah, it's amazing that system works.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta take a squeege. I'll be right back.
All right.
Good Lord. I haven't looked at the new Steam front page recently.
It's really nice. I like it.
I'm digging it. I'm like browsing stuff, like putting stuff on my wish list. It's good stuff. There's so much stuff that comes out this week. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a little intimidating.
It really is. I'm glad I'm getting a couple of them for free.
Yeah, I think PS Plus this month is really good.
It is. Minus the Vita, I was sort of disappointed. Mostly just because I own Rainbow Moon already. I think I'd be a little more pumped if I didn't own it already.
What else is on Vita? Rainbow Moon?
It's like Pix the Cat or something. It's like,
I might pick up Rainbow Moon. I don't think I ever bought that.
It's really not bad. It's a very lightweight strategy game, but it's really nice. I just love the fact that all of their dungeons are like repeating. They're like cyclical. Like you can go in one direction and you can end up in the same spot.
Oh, yeah. I always like when RPGs do that. It's kind of disappointing that more haven't been doing that lately.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Oh, you know, the one thing that I think Shadow Mordor did really poorly...
What's that?
So far is not explaining really what's in the season pass. It's like, season pass, get a bunch of stuff, and that's super cool, yay! And I was like, I might actually pay for that right now if there's more great content, but it's not very clear what's going on.
Another friend of mine got it for PC, and he said there's a built-in benchmark.
Oh, nice.
Like you could just click benchmark after you've like done your settings, and it will give you like your average, your max, and your minimum FPS.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like that's great. That shows that they actually cared about the PC version.
Yeah, not enough games do that still.
Yeah. Which is just, and every I like now that I think about that, like every game should have that, because if you don't benchmark inside your own game, how do you know like what they're gonna get?
Yeah.
So, I thought it was really cool.
All right. Let's do this whenever you guys are ready.
I'm good to go. One game I didn't get to this week that I wish I would have was Wasteland 2.
Yeah, we talked about it a bunch on Pup. Newsom
I'm
really
sure,
loves it.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really, really good. It sounds like it's an accessible Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's really the impression I got. I started to play and I was like, I started to make my party and I was like, I don't want to do a...
Yeah, it's like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, like, not like I can't do this right now, but like, if I'm going to do this, I should really think about the party I want before I even fire up the game.
Yeah.
And get like the profile pictures ready and just like, what's going to be fun?
Newsom's playing it right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Okay, for chat, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers on.
There you go. It's cold in the OH.
It is. Well, I got the window open. Like I said, it's like in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what the temperature
Gotta
is
bundle
here.
up, man.
Yeah, it's 50 degrees here.
Hypothermia
It
ain't
is.
no joke.
Bad. It's not
Yeah,
great.
yesterday when I was golfing, it started hailing in the middle of it,
Great.
and like a lot of hail and no
It
rain.
snowed here yesterday, so
It was essentially ice cubes falling from the sky.
Jeez.
But I had 2 gloves on, which I had to cut the tip off of this one so I could use my watch because it doesn't register through it.
nice.
I had a vest and then a jacket over the same amount of layers and a golf shirt on top of everything.
Jeez.
I was golfing like Stay Puft. And I had a pair of flannel-lined khakis and a pair of sweatpants on underneath them.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
3 pairs of socks.
Man. All right. Let's
That's commitment, folks.
let's
It is.
let's do this thing so I can go eat.
Alrighty. Ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, 4 layers plus a chest hair. It is, you know.
Ladies.
All right, so tell me if you think this is a dumb tattoo. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna get the Hitchhiker's Guide, like the thumb.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that'd be a good chest tattoo.
that's a great one.
Yeah, probably.
Like right
I
there.
dig it.
Yeah.
Like hey ladies, bam,
Boom.
Like
I'm a big nerd.
grab your towel, let's roll.
The best pickup line ever.
You get the right person, that might be great.
Yeah.
I gotta start hanging out at side quests.
Yeah. Oh man.
I plays well at the barcade.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Those are free, folks. I'm here all week.
Everybody gets one.
Alrighty. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of October 6th, 2014. Drive Club for the PS4.
I'm still waiting for reviews on that one. I really hope it's good. It is outstandingly pretty, but I want to know if, how much content is in there. Is it worthwhile playing it? Is the driving solid? I felt like when I picked up Forza Horizon 2, that's a pretty known quantity.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Drive Club to be really good. I don't know if I want to drop $60 blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very few things we drop $60 blind, unless you're me and I do stuff like that, but more than once.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dust and Elysian Tale for the PS4.
So excited to play it again. If you have PlayStation Plus, it's free.
Yeah, it is.
Go get it. It's one of the best Metroidvanias, and it has a story. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And here's a game that I'm so close to just buying it blind is Alien Isolation for the PlayStation 4, 3, XBO, 360, and PC.
I really want this game to be good. Most of the reviews have been really good so far.
Yeah, I want it to be an Aliens version of Dead Space.
Yeah. Except I don't know if you can kill the alien,
No, I don't think you can.
which I think makes it better.
Yeah.
I want to stand my ground at least once in that game.
Probably the ending.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
Get away from her!
Yeah.
Come on, Newt! Ammo! Anyway, Castle Quest 2 for the PC.
I'm excited to see if that's any good. I wish it was coming out for Xbox One and PS4, maybe later.
Yeah, hopefully.
But Costume Quest 1 is, we talk about it a lot on Pup. It's one of the best starter RPGs that you can purchase.
Yeah.
It's really easy. It's really fun, and those skills will take you into. If you can play Costume Quest, you can play. That one Xbox 360 RPG that Knobs, you and I loved.
Oh, Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah.
Same gameplay.
Nice.
Yep. Spelunky for the PlayStation 4.
There goes my time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Also free on PS Plus this month.
Yeah, and I think it's cross-buy also.
Yeah.
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 So you already own it. Just go download it.
Project Spark for the XBO and PC.
I thought this had already come out, but
I thought they were going to give this a better name.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all in the
Yeah.
branding. It's all in the
Yeah.
brand.
I don't know. Is it free? I meant to look up the price, but I thought it was. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This once I realized this, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense as to why Microsoft bought Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then one of the best versions of Strider, Strider 2 for the PlayStation 1 Classics for the PlayStation 3.
And it
Nice.
comes with Strider 1, the emulated
Yep.
version of Strider 1 on it. In it. And
Nice.
those two games are both really great.
Yeah.
Shing, 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 shing,
Ching,
shing.
ching, ching, ching. Yeah. Yeah. Wall hanging and slicing. It is perfection. I love those games. Castlevania Circle of the Moon for the Wii U Virtual Console. It's another good Castlevania game.
You know, I think it's one of the worst ones on Game Boy Advance, but it's still really good.
It's
But it's got
really
some
valid.
stiff competition, man.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're talking about a bad GBA Castlevania game, it's still a great game. So I would encourage if anybody had a GBA and they didn't buy this and they never played it, but they love Metroidvanias, go pick it up. I know nobody played it because it came out with a fat GBA where this game was so dark you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
This game is really, really great. It's not as much of a Metroidvania as they usually are. It's a little bit more straightforward. But man, I think this is outstanding. It doesn't have much of a story. The castle's really interesting. The whip upgrades are really great. Some of the puzzles are actually pretty tough. It's really, really solid. If you haven't played it and you like Metroidvanias, go pick it up. It's probably only a couple of bucks.
Yeah, I was just double checking to see if I had it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of thinking along the same lines of Harmony of Dissonance with Justice,
Yeah.
where you just had the 4 different whips. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're
Oh,
all
yeah.
good. Final Fantasy VIII for the PC.
Nope.
Yeah. And Rise, Son of Rome.
No, that's Final Fantasy 13 for the PC.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. An even worse Final Fantasy than 8. I'm very curious to see what they do with it on PC. I think that game looked really great. I think on a good PC, if they would kind of unlock the resolution, that would look really stellar.
Yeah.
Does not fix the problems that game has. But it's only $13, so whatever. Please don't buy it.
All right. Did I say Rise, Son of Rome for the PC?
You just did.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
That game I really wanted to like for the Xbox One, and the text is so tiny. That's what I want
Yeah.
to talk about for Shadow of Mordor. The text is so tiny. I'm blind. Please help me.
Yeah. I need to put my cheaters on to play your game. You're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move into news story. All the games are coming out now, which means no news comes out. Yay!
Hey.
In a really surprising, I don't even know what to call this. Sims 4 is getting a series of free patches. First one out now, Ghosts are in there, which sounds like a small thing, but is actually surprisingly important. November brings swimming pools, and December brings new career paths and rewards.
Nice.
I will genuinely give them a lot of credit. Thought they were going to charge for that.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to charge for all of that, and I really liked that they came out and said like, "Hey, we put out the game and you guys were unhappy with it, so here's the stuff you wanted for free." So, good for them. Good job, EA and Maxis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever works there now. All right, let's move on to emails.
Emails.
Emails?
Actually, this is just email.
Emails. Now for the singular.
Chino writes in and says, "Hey guys, have you played a game and ever thought, I would have liked this if I was 10 or 15 years old?"
Bulletstorm.
Oh, I'd have loved that game at 15.
Yeah.
I love that game as an adult.
I did too, but like as dirty as it was, I probably would have loved it even more.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I don't know.
I think the newer Wolfenstein games, I really enjoyed them. I think as an adolescent, I'd have been, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of shooters are like that. I think I would enjoy probably Halos and Call of Duties a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember Nintendork on the most recent Game Club recap was saying he felt pretty much that same way about Saints Row the Third.
Oh, yeah. If you would have played that when you were like 13,
All right.
17, that would have been even crazier.
Let me put a caveat into that. The payoff in Saints Row is getting to meet the mayor for an adult.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
And he never got to that point.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I feel like I kind of play most games like I'm 15 to 20 anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Diabag in chat says Asura's Wrath.
Yeah.
Maybe Bayonetta.
Yeah, I think I would have
Bayonetta.
been a little bit better at that time.
Yeah. Maybe because of my reaction times would have been a little better.
Yeah, probably.
He continues, ever played a game a long time ago and didn't understand the story, then you played it you recently replayed it and understand it now that you're older. I feel like there's a game out there.
I'm really interested to seeing what my impressions of Grim Fandango are going to be as an adult.
Oh, me too.
Yes.
I think that game will land really hard as a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
I think for me, MGS2.
Yes.
Because at the end
absolutely.
of it, after I replayed it recently, I was like, oh, it's about the internet. Oh, now I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
I had that experience
Got
when
it.
I played the HD collection.
This game's even better.
This past year. Yeah. Well, and if you just read like everything they say in that game about information and technology and AI is all coming to pass.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
horrifying.
Kojima the Futurist.
Yeah.
Just like the movie Network. I mean,
Yeah. Throwing it out there. Sorry, the hand. I think I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I'm a monster.
okay.
He continues. Peripherals for PS1. Namco released an analog controller for Ridge Racer series called the NEG-Con that allowed you to twist the controller down the middle. I think they also released the Jog-Con. Wasn't that for the next? I love their controllers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Look up the Jog-Con. ASCII released a one-handed RPG controller, which was weird. The PS2 Res Special Edition in Japan came with an optional trance vibrator, peripheral that pulses with the beat, which they enabled in the 360 version. When you hook up additional controllers, those also use their vibration mode to do that. He didn't really have an answer, but yeah, all of those are super cool. Except for that RPG controller one. That one was weird.
I don't know. I still think the craziest peripheral of all time has got to be the Steel Battalion controller.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is bananas.
Yeah. All the bananas.
My favorite peripheral I ever had was a PC peripheral, actually. It was the Fang gamepad by Ideazon. It was one of those little like miniature keyboards, but it was like just so perfectly like crafted for World of Warcraft. It wasn't even funny. Like you could reach all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so like 1 through 0 with like one hand without having to like stretch crazy and still keep it on WASD. It was it's so good.
The other Jay-Z in chat linked an image of the Jog-Con if you're watching the live stream.
Yeah,
It's covering up my co-host faces. I don't remember what that's used for.
I don't remember that one either.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Let me pull that article back up while we're talking about other stuff. Whoop, get out of the way here, Jog-Con. You're crazy. You're not on the show. Jeez. It was released for Ridge Racer Type 4. Is combine the function of a steering wheel while maintaining the size of a standard PlayStation controller.
Huh.
That dial is 3 inches in diameter.
That
thing
is
is
too big.
huge.
I don't know. Like, I mean, most peripherals fail just because they're trying to be kitschy and the response is never quite right. Like, any flight simulator yoke or controller you've ever owned has never quite been right.
No.
Yeah.
Just like any steering wheel attachment. Like, it just does not feel right.
Yeah.
Unless you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it like the F1 guys do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
They're madmen.
The F-22A Raptor simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to tweets.
Tweets.
Adderblack39 writes in, what has been your most surprising game of this year so far in terms of how good or bad it was? Shadow of Mordor for good.
Yeah.
For right now.
Yep.
For bad, I feel like there's something that landed really flat for me this year. Let me go back through some of these.
I'm gonna have to say Destiny for me right now.
Peggle 2.
All right, I'm changing my vote.
I think that surprisingly kind of came out and I was like, oh, that's not good at all. Why did that happen?
Yeah, why did this happen?
Going through some more of these here. Flipping through my notebook. I don't know. This year's been pretty good. I'm looking through here, Rayman Legends, Danganronpa, Risk of Rain.
Oh, Risk of Rain is so good.
Yeah, I might have to say Peggle 2. Just such a disappointment after coming off the heels of one of the best puzzle games.
And one of the best expansions. Peggle Knights was outstanding.
Yeah, Peggle Knights is great.
I don't understand how that game lost its soul. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. But are there any other good games this year that have kind of surprised us?
Wolfenstein. Sneezies.
Yeah. Which game was that? I was sneezing.
Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that yet. I keep meaning to get around to it.
It was it surprised me at every level of that game, between their presentation, the gameplay, and the actual storyline itself. Was just it surprised me at every turn.
Yeah, but there have been a lot of games like this year, I think, that have come out, and I think they've sort of landed, and we are actually sort of like, oh, that was actually good. Okay, you guys did that. For me, Lego Marvel Superheroes was one of them.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, oh, okay, that's way better than your kind of standard Lego game.
Mm-hmm.
In Titanfall, I can't consider it a disappointment because it's so workmanlike. Like it's everything you wanted it to be, and yet not.
And it was just kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. The other JZ tweets in. I've never played any of the Assassin's Creed series, but Shadow of Mordor seems to take a lot of cues, minus the infinite collectibles. Agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think it accelerates the traversal so much, where your character is leaping up like sides of cliffs, and you're climbing up buildings. He's going up half of them at a jump, which is.
Yes.
I feel like if for Assassin's Creed it probably wouldn't work, but I feel like in this game it's kind of. That acceleration is a lot of fun. And he says, also, Boston, I avenge your death. You're welcome. Thank you. Somebody's got it.
Nice.
Thy Dark Angel is really drunk and was tweeting us for a while. And then Chris H writes in, got the last copy of Middle Earth. Do any of you play tabletop games, i.e. D&D? My very first game is in a week, and I'm DMing. Any pointers?
Ooh.
If you're DMing, those people that are your friends are your enemies.
Yes.
Mess them up.
And just always remember that the players are not always going to do what you want them to do.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Don't try and guide your players. Do not force them into a scenario.
Yeah, help, don't tell.
Yes, exactly.
I recommend watching The Gamers, Nerdocalypse, or whatever it was called. Watch that, and that's how you do it right.
Yeah. That being said, I've never played D&D.
Really?
No.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a game I would get into, but I think that's the one. What I'm really waiting for is I'm really waiting for a great digital version of D&D that the three of us can play, because you have to have that good group of people that are in it for the long haul. I feel like I haven't had the group of people, the large group of people that you would need that would stick to it without someone dropping out 2 games in and being like, "Oh, see you later."
Yeah,
that was our healer. Crap.
Yeah, I've played one D&D game sort of extensively. We played it for a few months, and my character was unfortunately killed. Um,
It was there was a boating accident.
there was an evil cleric that had a scythe that came out of his blood that he just decided to show off in front of a paladin, and the paladin, like by the nature of his god, had to kill him, and I, by my nature, had to defend the other dude.
That's
And
gonna
so I
happen.
died. I got thrown off of a boat and drowned because I couldn't get my armor off fast
See, it was a
enough.
boating accident. I was right.
You need to work on your dice roll, man. Like natural 20 to get you out of that.
Yeah, but more extensively, I've played the third generation of World of Darkness RPGs, Vampire the Requiem mainly,
Yeah.
and I always found the settings for those a little bit more in line with what I wanted to do at the time. I think I'd probably get more out of D&D nowadays.
It's something I've always wanted to get back into. Oh, maybe one day I might open up a shop and have a D&D dungeon in the back or something.
Nice.
I don't know.
I don't know. My friends
But-
and I played games when we were young that always seemed D&D inspired. Like we had this tabletop game. We played a lot of tabletop games. Played this game called Battle Masters.
Okay.
Which had like this very large. It was like Warhammer for kids. It seemed like.
Yeah.
It had this really big plastic sheet that had like giant map on it. It had hexagons. You had these units. You know, it seemed very much like your intro to Warhammer.
Yeah.
We played more of those than I think we did any D&D inspired games. But we played one. I don't remember. I think it was called Hero Quest. It was a. Let me look it up. I think it was called Hero Quest. It was basically D&D, but it had all these doors, and it had a preset board, and you would buy packs that told you, like, here's the story, here's your characters, here's where you put all the doors and, like, the traps and stuff. So it seemed like it was an easier intro to D&D, and we played the hell out of that game.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like I got in one group. It was my only time I played Dungeons and Dragons. But you know, I was the kid on the block. Like I was youngest by maybe 3 years, and I was trying to get in and be cool with everyone else.
Yeah.
And so they killed me really quick. But I still showed up every night we were playing just to see the experience. And plus, I wanted to flip through that binder. It just had amazing artwork.
Oh yeah, man, the artwork on those was always so good.
It's something that like I would love to get my hands on that binder again as an adult, just to peruse through it one more time.
Just like
but,
read all of it now, like actually read the lore.
And it was one of those. It's one of those things that's kind of lost the time because it was a 4-inch thick 3-ring binder that like every page was laminated and hole punched into it.
Wow.
That I have never found a copy of that book.
I
or
bet
that
somebody
Dungeons
did that
Master's Guide.
themselves.
Yeah.
And even after, like, I asked one of them as we were adults, I was like, whatever happened to that D&D binder? He's like, yeah, we lent it to someone, and we got it from someone else that got it from somebody else. Like, it was
man.
It was like this mythical object that had been passed
We
around.
only had it for a couple of months, but times were good.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, that's all of our tweets and emails. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. Everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And please come join us on the forums. Don't forget to mark yourselves in the map in the off-topic thread.
There you go, it's stickied.
Since it's somewhere
It is.
in there. Yeah. It's at the top, isn't it?
I think I think it's stickied.
Alrighty, join us for Monday Night Game Night. That is 10 p.m. EST on Battlefield on the Xbox One. Join whatever random conversation we're having. I'm sure we could work you in somewhere.
Yeah.
And defend you.
And defend you, yes.
Yeah.
Depending on what side of the fence you're on, there are some very strong personalities, but we're all very, very open. Wednesday Night Game Night is for the PlayStation 4 peeps. That thread is in the forums. Thursday Night Game Night is Steam Game Night. There's a thread and a group and all that other good stuff.
Yep, they're still trying to get Wednesday night game night on PS4 going. That's in the, I believe, either online or general gaming forums. I'd have to double check. The current TVGP Game Club game is The Darkness 2, with an added The Darkness 1 bonus round if you finish The Darkness
A
2
Darkness
quickly.
1 chaser.
Yes, it's all darkness all the time for October, guys.
Yep.
And that will be wrapping up on the 30th. So we will be recording the recap the day before Halloween, probably about 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. Was that 6 p.m.
The
Pacific?
witching hour? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. The witching hour. And let us know if you want to be a part of that show by posting in the Game Club thread for this game.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget, our 4th annual TVGP meetup is set for October 18th at the Whirly Ball in tropical Bedford, Ohio.
There you go.
We're joining there, and then we're trying to figure out some activities to do after that. Maybe 12 hours of terror at the Capitol Theater. Maybe.
Who knows?
Just throwing it out there. Yeah, so that's in Ohio, in Bedford. The details are in the, I think, off-topic thread or something.
In the forum somewhere.
In the forum somewhere, but yeah, probably shirts should be getting printed soon, and we'll be ready to go.
Nice.
All right. Cool.
And don't forget, you can watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We always appreciate it. See you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
Title, and that
Okay.
is articles.
Yeah, I got that one
Just
too.
that, I just liked how that sounded.
ARTY-CLES.
Articles.
No, it's just ARTYCLES.
Okay.
Articles.
Articles.
I got a few here, and I got a whole bunch from the other Jay-Z, so I'm going to go with mine first. Normal standard fare, articles, Queen Pale Skin, Make It Weird, Squeak When It Hits Them, starts with an L and ends with an OOT, Subtlety doesn't go over very well, This Game Should Suck, Meat and Gristle, It Likes the Cars, Party Festival, Racing Against Jets, Wall Hanging and Slicing, Get Out of the Way, JogCon, Sneezies, and Warhammer for Kids. And the other Jay-Z's titles are Ruthless in the Best Way, I Don't Care Enough to Be in That World, Queen Paleskin as well, Give Yourself a Reward, Squeaking Bullets, Strikes and Raids, Throw It in My Face, Do I Really Want to Get Up and Read, It's Dragon Age, Who Cares, Nemesis Entertainment System, Graze in the Throat, Play in the Combo Game, Batman Middle-earth, Grand Theft Mordor, This Is When the Games Come Out, When Too Many Personas, Way Too Many Personas, A World Full of Stuff, an Amish Buick, Hanging the Slicing.
Who said an Amish
I don't know
Buick?
if that was said. I think that was inferred from when we were
That
talking about
just might
Amish
be
and
a
puppets.
Jay-Z ad-lib.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
It's about the internet. Kojima the Futurist. JogCon not featured. IED and D. What? Games up front, dungeon in the back. Sure.
My favorite one is starts with an L and ends with OOT.
Yeah.
That's got
I'm
my
a huge
vote.
fan of that one. Yeah.
It's like get out of the way, JogCon. It sounds like a ludicrous lyric.
Yeah.
Featuring JogCon.
Yeah.
Featuring Namco.
Anybody else
Yeah.
feeling strongly about anything else, or we got the L and OOT one?
I'm a big fan of the Elanute, yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 363 for October 6th, 2014. Starts with an L, ends with OOT.
Give me the burps!
Loofaloot?
Fat burps.
Perps.
All
Why
right,
are we
thank you.
obsessed with perps? I
Gotta get them perps, son.
like oranges
get 'em.
are so much better.
Oh my god, but
it's
they're not
always-
perps.
It's always about the perps.
I know I like the exotic yellows, but man, those perps.
Man, the perps.
Yeah.
So many perps. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.